Headlights on the highway. If you only knew, being back here always makes me think of you. When the world is sleeping, do you think of me? With the road lights coming back up.
Hello, and a very warm welcome or a very warm welcome back. We are in the dog days of summer here in Texas, and the heat has really been taking a toll on everyone, especially when we know that it won't really let up for at least another 2 months. And so I found that as a homemaker, focusing on creating as much beauty and coziness inside as possible is even more important this time of year for my family. And part of that is decking out our dollhouse for late summer. She is all dolled up and I am so excited to show you. But first, I'm going to make a cup of tea. Now I know this is counterintuitive because I was just complaining about the heat outside. However, I'm going to be making some mint tea from some mint that we got from our garden, and it is so refreshing that I don't mind that it's warm. I've shared on here that we're planning to move from our house in the suburbs to a family farm in the next couple of years. And we have all kinds of dreams for that farm. If you're new around here, my name is Caroline and I live in a multi-generational household with my husband, my parents, and my grandmother. And we're planning to establish a family farm with my brother, his wife, and my mother's very best friend. And with a lot of people, inevitably comes a lot of dreams and goals. My mother and I have very cottagecore hobby farm dreams, somewhere between a hobbit and Bramley Hedge. I know that tragically, we are not actually able to be little mice living in a tree hollow somewhere, but we're very much looking forward to a cozier, slower pace of life with lots of room to breathe. My mom wants Americana chickens, which fall into a category that people like to call Easter eggers because they produce a wide variety of beautiful colors in their egg supply. And my dream since I was about 4 years old has been to own a horse, and I would love for my children to be able to grow up with ponies. Honestly, our dream farmhouse probably would look a whole lot like this dollhouse. A Victorian-style farmhouse with lots of flowers and a veggie garden, one that looks like Aunt Shirley would be right at home. My family shares an abiding love for dollhouses, and about half of what you see here was handmade by us. Both sets of my mother's grandparents lived on farms for their entire lives, and my father actually grew up on a farm himself. And ever since they got married, they've been trying to find their way back to this way of life. But it has gone from common and widespread to less common, almost rare, and it's just not easily accessible to the average American financially. If we weren't all pulling together, this would never be feasible. But we are, and we're so excited. We're planning to buy a farm in Michigan, and in my dreams, I would love to have cherry trees that formed our own white way of delight, like in Anne of Green Gables. I don't know that any heroine could quite surpass Anne. I love the Anne of Green Gables books so much. They were such an integral part of my childhood, and I love the Megan Follows movies. I watched all of them with my mother growing up. However, a very close runner-up for me is Ellen Montgomery's adult novel, The Blue Castle. It is such a beautiful novel, and though it has some darker undertones than Anne, understandably, as it is an adult novel compared to a children's book, it is still interwoven with the same belief that imagination can beautify and bring so much hope and peace and comfort to life, even when it gets really, really hard. And wonderfully, it's all about a woman deciding to follow her dreams and to find the people who truly love her. After living under the thumb of enormous social pressure from her family and her community for her entire life. It's honestly incredible that it was published in 1926, and to me, Ellen Montgomery's heart just shines through every page. And also the workings of her beautiful, brilliant mind, which suffered under the weight of severe depression for most of her life. The Blue Castle is set in the Great Lakes region of Canada, and so it's been a great tool to help me romanticize our upcoming move. Ellen Montgomery describes Ontario just as beautifully as she described Prince Edward Island. I'm not sure that I could help but love any place once I saw it through her eyes. But far more than that, the Blue Castle, to me, is a reminder of the breathtaking courage and steadfastness that women have had throughout history across times and cultures. I wish that I could go back and give Ellen Montgomery a kinder husband, an SSRI, a fairer world. But I can appreciate the wild beauty that she created in the face of it all and left behind like a lantern for those of us following after her. Both Anne Shirley and Jo March in Little Women felt a kinship with seagulls. They yearned for the strength, freedom, and fearlessness that they felt those animals symbolized and embodied fully. But in my eyes, they already were seagulls, and so was Ellen Montgomery herself, and Louisa May Alcott, and all women throughout history. It can be difficult to be a woman. Like seagulls, we are born into a wide world that is often inhospitable and cruel. It can be rough out here, you do not need me to tell you that. But all of those literary heroines, in their own way, looked at a raging sea and an empty sky, and they took flight anyway. And I like to believe that in some way, their authors were able to take flight through them too. And much like seagulls, they were not afraid to let their voices be heard, particularly in the case of Anne and Jo. And I was about to say that I was going back to the more poetic, beautiful side of the metaphor, but honestly, I think that loud, raucous insistence to be heard that seagulls have is really beautiful and important and inspiring for women. Because while I believe that all women are like seagulls in the sense that they live and persist and endure despite the times and the trials that they live through, so many women throughout history metaphorically had their wings clipped and their voices were never heard at all. They could see the sky and they could see the ocean, but they were never going to reach either. And so I try to never forget what a wild and precious gift it is to be able to choose my own life, to choose what makes me happy, and to have a platform like YouTube where I can share my thoughts and stories freely. The women before me gave me that, a gift that took centuries of blood, sweat, and tears, and it is not one that I take lightly. And it is also one that I strive to contribute to so that I can pass it along to the generations who will follow after me. So that, God willing, they will be able to live in a better world than I could begin to imagine. I have been extraordinarily blessed to have many strong women in my life, literary heroines, but also family and friends who inspire me and encourage me every day. And one of them is celebrating her 90th birthday, my beautiful Nana. And she requested an Italian cream cake, and what Nana wants, Nana gets. It is such a gift to be able to share a home with Nana at this point in my life and in hers, and to be able to enjoy her stories, jokes, and fabulous sense of style on a daily basis. She was born in 1936, and it is truly baffling to consider how much the world has changed since then. It really feels like several centuries worth of history were condensed into those 90 years. And she faced each of those years with courage and grit and no small amount of sequence. In her and in my mother, I can see echoes of a long family line of strong, kind, fierce women, many of whom lived through world events and tragedies that I couldn't even begin to imagine facing, and many of whom shared ancient joys that endure from age to age, and many of whom did all of these everyday tasks like vacuuming and cleaning and dusting and baking cakes for the people that they loved and looked up to. I'm sure some of them loved it, and I'm sure many of them were making the best of the only life path available to them. All strong, all brave, all women that I am very, very proud of. And I like to believe that they live on within me, and that I get to carry them with me wherever I go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nana. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much for stopping by Posy's house, and we hope to see you again soon.